About freaking time we see what Yachiru can do. Let's go. So the first question that comes to my mind with this chapter while reading it is, I'm curious as to whether either Yachiru is just ridiculously strong beyond what most would think, or is it that Stern Ritter V isn't quite at the level? Because I was thinking to myself, Yachiru is a lieutenant. You know, she's not a captain, she's a lieutenant. And when I was thinking back, I was thinking like, in the beginning parts of the war, captains such as Byakuya and just everybody was getting decimated by the Stern Ritters. So I'm looking at it right here and I'm thinking, okay, why I said last week that Yachiru and Isane would have needed some help, because I'm thinking, okay, this is a lieutenant and Isane ain't all that either, so they're probably going to need Kenpachi to come in, and it could still very well lead that way. You never know in next week's chapter or the week after that, whatever might happen with this fight. But as of right now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so with Stern Ritter V, which seems already that like he's having trouble with Yachiru because he's supposed to be like on some trickery shit, is making me think either he's not on the level as the other Stern Ritters, that they just, with decimating captains and shit, or Yachiru is far well above and beyond lieutenant position, and maybe she stood at that position to be next to Kenpachi. Maybe it sounds more about right there that she stood there for the most part to be with Kenpachi, and that's why he obviously chose her as his lieutenant as well. So that already got me thinking in that aspect. And I felt as though for the most part with this chapter, you mainly got some character stuff. You got pretty much Yachiru, you got Stern Ritter V, Isane pretty much like confused as fuck as to what the fuck is going on, and you got a little bit of a battle going on, but aside from that, it was mainly just the big shocker of what Yachiru can do. That was really the big thing regarding this chapter, because we've been waiting how long to see why is she the lieutenant, what is so special about her, why is she strong, and we kind of got a big glimpse of that in this chapter. Although it is very interesting with Stern Ritter V that it seems as though under the right circumstances, this guy could be OP as a motherfucker, because he can delete his shape, pretty much turn invisible, and even at some point with the 3 different steps, he can make it that you forget about him, and he could go back and forth from being invisible to attacking you while he's invisible. So he just seems hacks as a motherfucker, and it wasn't for her primal instincts, Yachiru's primal instincts, that she's pretty much gotten away from Kenpachi as well, learning from him and what he would do. It would probably just be like Isane would get her head cut off and Yachiru would get destroyed, because it was those instincts that helped her to kind of go. And it was just weird when she said, oh, I felt like a rustle or some shit. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that was interesting, as well as though like her being around Kenpachi, it gave her those instincts to pretty much attack things when it gives her that certain feeling. Sampo Kenju. Pretty much we get it in this chapter. This is one of the main sources of Yachiru's power, and it's pretty much seemingly 2 monsters. Like one of them looked like a real big thing, and then one of them looked like a giant fur ball, whatever, and they attack simultaneously when she attacks, so pretty much it's triple attacks coming from her. Yeah, I'm getting a little understanding now of what Yachiru is about and why Kenpachi chose her to be his lieutenant. As clear as day, her attack is very interesting. Her battling combat is something a little bit unique, and it's not until she shows them and says, yo, look at what they are, that they can see these, monsters. I'm guessing that the monsters stay invisible to the opponent can't see it unless she says, yeah, now you can see. So pretty much with this chapter, we mainly got progression with this little confrontation between Yachiru and Stern Ritter V, and we pretty much learned Yachiru's Shikai, Copycat, so we got a little bit of information there and a little bit of progression. But aside from that, the vibe of this chapter definitely felt a little bit weird. It felt as though it was on one half like this comedic, weird type of funny thing, because it's kind of like Yachiru trying to punch all over the place, and even her technique, the way she revealed it, was like epic but funny at the same time. And then this guy, that Stern Ritter V, just seems like a complete fail, to be honest with you. Was like he has this hack's ass power, but it just felt very funny. But at the same time, it also felt creepy at the same time, because he does look creepy and he acts creepy, and the way he just approaches things is overall creepy. So it was a creepy, funny chapter, I guess. The vibe of it. So it was more so a Yachiru versus Stern Ritter V type of confrontation with a little bit of development and learning pretty much what Yachiru's Shikai is after all these years. So good on that aspect. Overall, I felt as though it was a good chapter. Looking forward to seeing Yachiru doing these triple strikes and learning a little bit more about her Shikai Copycat, because as of right now, it's kind of looking like, yeah, triple attacks is going to fuck this Stern Ritter V up. By the way, anyone else get a little bit of a creepy, dead Steve Urkel vibe from Stern Ritter V? I'm just saying. Let me know what you guys think. Did anybody predict that this would be Yachiru's Shikai, this Copycat triple attack type of technique? Did you see it coming? Is it kind of like a surprise? Also, what do you think about Stern Ritter V now learning his techniques? I feel as though Stern Ritter V, it seems as though he could be so hacks if he wasn't just like the way he is. He just seems as though similar to along the lines of, I guess, a Mask the Masculine, except a little bit more serious than that, and he's trying to be creepy, and it's kind of like, again, funny, creepy. And just overall thoughts of the chapter. Do you feel as though Yachiru's triple attacks will be enough to take out Stern Ritter V, or you think he's going to come back mustering something even crazier to the point where Kenpachi is going to have to show up and help out? I'm hoping at this point, with what we've seen with Yachiru, with her power, it seems as though she's formidable enough to take this guy out, because this guy just doesn't seem like he's on the level of some of the other Stern Ritters, like, Asnod and whatnot. So I'm guessing that it's a big possibility Yachiru can do it herself. Maybe Isane help a little bit out, but it don't even seem like Isane needs to help out. It seems as though Yachiru got this one, and we're finally getting to see, after all these years, what she's capable of. So, if anything, maybe after a long struggle, if anything, unless, he's already defeated by the end of this chapter when we see her swiping the sword, let Yachiru get this one on her own. Let Kenpachi, and if Unohana does show up, let them show up in somewhere else that is needed, because with this chapter, it kind of demonstrates with all of his power, Stern Ritter V just isn't all that, like, of a menacing threat as I thought. Abilities seem OP, but the guy is just like, did I do that? But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for Yachiru Shikai. All these years, we finally get Copycat, and it's like, about freaking time. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.